Hey, what's up, guys? Got another series review for you. So this one I watched maybe about a year ago, and for whatever reason, distractions, life, I stopped, and I recently went back to it. Um, just in between searching for something new. I finished The Witcher. Um, Currently invested in the Book of Boba Fett right now, and just trying to find that next thing. But this has always been here. In fact, a new season just dropped. The show's called The Expanse. It's a science fiction, sci-fi, space TV show, but it's a smart one, and it's a smart show. And what I mean by that, they use actual science and apply it to the show. Um, it's big. The universe is big in this. Uh, the, for me, I was trying to kind of figure it out. There's a lot going on. You have to be really invested in the show. It's the thinking man's sci-fi show. In fact, I think if Elon Musk, was given the opportunity to make a TV series, it would be this. But anyways, I think it's great. Like I said, a new season just dropped, and from what I understand, season 1 through 3 was on the Sci-Fi Channel, and it got canceled. And the people at Amazon Prime just said, you know what, we like it, we're gonna invest in it, and they picked it up, and it's been continuing on ever since. Pretty much the same cast too. So basically, like a short description of what it's about, and this is a short description. It's, I guess, it kind of sums it up. So in the 24th century, a group of humans untangle a vast plot which threatens the solar system's fragile state. Right, so not much to go from that. All right, so basically what I get is, so you have Earth, which, is Earth in the 24th century, so it's all like Blade Runner-esque, you know? I don't want to say cyberpunk, because it looks a lot cleaner than that. Well, some parts are clean, some parts don't, you know? But it's definitely a futuristic Earth. I think it's run by the United Nations, the UN. Um, and then you have Mars. So people at one point migrated to Mars, and now they're in the process of terraforming it. If you don't know what terraforming is, it's pretty much to make Mars look like Earth. Oceans, a forest, trees, all that stuff. But the people that run Mars are very militaristic. So think of like the Spartans, or the Marines. Like if the Marines had their own planet, it would be Mars. Um, and then you have the Belt, which are like the other planets in the solar system. So think of like, I don't know, Ceres or Enceladus, all those other moons that you hear about, Titan, right? Now, suppose they're occupied, but the people that work there are like all like industrial workers, and the belt, people from the belt are like working class people. They have like an accent. They may have their own language, and I think that's cool actually. So what they did, they kind of like developed their own language for the show. So you know, like Game of Thrones had linguists come in and develop languages for certain groups. That's I can't really pinpoint you know uh, the accent or the language of the belt, but it sounds familiar and it don't. You know, they definitely borrowed it from something, and the actors just kind of twisted it, made it its own thing. Like I said, it's a big series. It's not like one of those like aliens everywhere kind of shows. It does hint at that. Like from what I've seen so far was weird alien type biological virus that mutates people. I've seen mutated people that resemble aliens, but not actually like things from another planet yet. Like I said, I'm barely in. I think I'm season 3 or season 4 right now, and it just dropped season 6, so there's a lot to go. But I'm sure I'll be introduced to a vast world of things that come. Like I said, there's a lot going on. Sometimes I have to like rewind back just in case I miss something because it's that kind of show, and I think that's cool. You don't get too many shows that are really in depth like this, and it's sci-fi, so like, yeah, it's a lot of real political thriller, political intrigue, um, but like adventure. and mystery. Um, it's like the politicalness of Star Trek mixed with the action adventure of like Battlestar Galactica, and they had a baby, and it's the Expanse. So it's not like like fun. Let's go for a ride, Star Wars stuff. It's more of a I guess a serious nature. It definitely has some lighthearted moments. It actually makes you care about the characters, which are awesome. They're a vast bunch of people that you could actually relate to, which I think is interesting. You kind of know where they're coming from, their decisions. Um, like I said, and it's very in depth. You have to like kind of pay attention to really kind of get the gist of what's going on. There's a lot of story, and there's plenty to go around. There's enough for everybody, I think, to enjoy this, even if you're not into science fiction. But what I like about it feels like the progression, pretty much. So you've all seen science fiction shows, I'm sure, um, and to get your mindset, it has to be a stretch of limitations. You have to pretty much kind of let yourself go to enjoy um, that particular show. But this feels like progression. This is where I think we would be at probably in the 24th century. It's where it's set in. Um, because, like I said, it's the future, obviously 24th century, but it still feels like home. It still feels like the progression of us getting from 2022 to this future of the 24th century, and like and not really having to stretching the limits of your mind. Pretty much you just kind of fall into the seat like, oh, this feels kind of familiar. Like I said, it's I don't know, like I said, it's growing on me more and more. It was a set of novels, I believe. So much like The Walking Dead, they're based on, not, well, not The Walking Dead, but like it's based on a series of books, pretty much. The writers, brilliant for thinking, you know, combining like real science with this stuff and just outside the box. Um, really kind of making it believable. In fact, so believable in one scene. It was early on. I think it was like season 1, episode 1. They torture someone who was like born on one of the planets to get information, and how they do it is they bring the guy to Earth and they like torture him. They like put him on a rack, and the gravity of Earth is just pulling the guy. It's like killing him pretty much. It's like so much pain, and it's because he was born on another planet. So, like if you're like a deep sea diver, and you're like always so many depths under the water, you can't go up right away. The head will explode, or you'll bleed out your eyes, or your nose, or ears, or whatever, because your body has to like adjust. Same thing in space. If you're born in space, somehow, your body's all sorts of messed up because there's no gravity in space, so your body has to do like weird compensating things, to get your body where it should be. And I would assume that when you're on Earth, you probably run into a lot of health problems. So I thought that was pretty neat that they incorporated that someone actually took the time, these two writers, to think of like, oh, if you're born on another planet, you would have to adjust being on Earth for a little bit. Um, but yeah, it's pretty neat. Like not, and you would think like, well, there's no gravity. How you would think people are just like floating around aimlessly. No, magnetic boots. Because I always thought about that. Like every sci-fi show, like like I said, you have to kind of relax the realism there because of the whole no gravity thing. People would just be floating around. So how could you have like a story based on that? And it's because of the boots. Magnetic boot. It makes sense. But every planet they land on, whether it be the belt or Mars or parts of Earth, they all have like different flavors pretty much. Like I said, it's familiar and not at the same time. The belt, it's gritty, working class environment and real industrial. Mars, very sterile, military based kind of feel, and Earth feels like Earth. Just some parts so the city's progressed, and some kind of went back. So it's like the futuristic feel of like Dubai and Japan. It's like that. Just you have like certain slums like Brazil. Parts of Brazil that are in really bad shape. You know, but yeah, it definitely reflects on different societies and how they're coping with this. You know, it's fun. It has a little bit of everything for everyone actually. So I think even if you're not a fan of sci-fi, you'll get some enjoy just from the storytelling, which is pretty incredible. It makes you care about the characters, and you know, if you invest time and actually go through each episode, it grows on you. Like it's grown on me. The guys behind it, Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank, they're the writers. I gotta say, for actually taking the time to just make a compelling story set in the 21st century, 24th century, and making it not boring. It's good. It's good storytelling. It's a good series. I mean, obviously, it must be doing well. They just released another season, so yeah, I definitely recommend it. If I'm kind of like at a loss or bored of not doing nothing, progressive or whatever, I'll put it on and I'll watch it. And like I said, uh, I can't predict. It's like the way the politics are balanced. Like I said, it's got that serious political intrigue from Star Trek, but the action in Battlestar Galactica, two separate shows, combining them, you got this. That's probably the best description I could. I keep going to in my mind, so that's why I keep saying it. It just feels complete, you know, and like I said, it's definitely interesting. And like I said, it's the thinking man sci-fi show, but it's entertaining nonetheless. And I think you guys get a good if you want something new to watch that's maybe out of the norm from your usual routine, what you would watch. Definitely check out The Expanse. If you have Amazon Prime, you got it. You can just load it up, and like I said, I think there's bits and pieces of every episode. They're not they continue on from one another, but each episode is kind of like its own little thing going on, situation, problem, whatever it is. And this crew, these like little band of brothers, get together and just kind of like explore and do their own thing, whatever the situation is. So definitely recommend it. Check it out. It's called The Expanse, and like I said, it's on season 6 right now. But if you got Amazon Prime, you can check it out right now. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. If you're into science fiction, like I said, right now I'm doing the whole Book of Boba Fett thing. Um, this is definitely another take on the science fiction world, and it's interesting. So yeah, there you have it. That's The Expanse in a nutshell. Give it a shot, and let me know what you think. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and catch you all later. Peace.